before I tell you about the Dharavi model, let us understand first what is Dharavi. So Dharavi is Asia's largest or densest populated slum, situated in 2.1 square kilometer area. There are 1 million people who are staying in Dharavi. Yes, 1 million in 2.1 square kilometer. That is for a one person, if you calculate, it is 2 meter by 2 meter space. And that is not enough. That 2 meter by 2 meter includes their school, their hospital, their roads, their community hall, their marriage hall, everything in that 2 square kilometer. 70% of people in Dharavi depends on community toilets. There are long queues in the morning for a toilet, and one toilet is used by at least 200 to 250 people at a time. Moreover, many migrant workers depend on street food. Many houses, usually a house is of 10 feet by 15 feet, 1 or 2 story house. On ground floor, there are 10 to 15 people stay in one room. They depend on street food, they use public toilet, and many people have a misconception that there is only people who live in Dharavi. No, Dharavi is a hub of small scale industries. Yes, small scale industries. There are 5,000 registered, GST registered businesses in Dharavi. There are 15,000 single room factories in Dharavi. And the factories of textile, factories of leather industries, factories of food processing industries, factories of recycling, pottery, you name it, and Dharavi have it. Yes, now let's go back to the pandemic days in March, April 2022, what we have been taught by WHO. Be home quarantine yourself, practice social distancing. When you show the symptoms, use separate toilet, use separate utensil, don't mingle with the public, don't eat street food. Now try to apply all these things to Dharavi. Yes, it is very difficult. And this is what the Dharavi model is about. Yes, friends, many times it happens in life that you encounter a problem for which you don't have any reference book to solve. You have to trust on your intent, you have to trust on your team, and just to go ahead, no matter how dark it is in front, you have to just go ahead. So Dharavi model is basically when the first case, when it was first case detected on 1st April 2020, and it was a death case. By the time we went to the deceased home and tried to find out his high-risk contacts, and we were trying to test his family members, we realized that many people are rushing to the hospital for the complaint of breathlessness. Many of them died. And we realized that it is not going to work, that we will find out a person, we'll find out his high-risk contacts, we'll test them. By the time, how many people will, and how randomly people will get infected. So we shifted to arranging fever camps. So fever camps is basically a group of doctors, nurses, ward boys, who go into the community, screen the people, identify the suspects, those showing symptoms, isolate them in institutional quarantine or a government quarantine, test them, treat them. So now where is the government quarantine? Where is the space for the quarantine? So all the schools, all marriage hall, community hall, we converted all of them into a institutional quarantine. All benches in the school were replaced by bed. All the chairs in the marriage hall was replaced by a bed. And in a quarantine center, we set up a community kitchen with breakfast, lunch, dinner, with medicine, doctors, 24/7 doctors, nurses and ward boys, a testing center, then medicine, and everything was given there. No matter, but this was not enough again, because we have handful of resources during that time. During everything, lockdown was there, limited resources were available, human resources were available during that time. But interestingly, what happened, few group of private practitioners who were working in Dharavi came to me, and they said, sir, we are doctors, we have clinics in Dharavi, which is, you told us to close the clinic, but we can't sit back and relax. We are doctors. It is more than a sin to sit back and relax in COVID. So it suddenly clicked me. I said, let's screen the Dharavi. And the 1 million people, we started screening each and every person. And those who were symptomatic, those who were showing the symptoms, started shifting them to quarantine centers. And in no time, our quarantine centers were full. Means you could not believe that, I could not believe, in fact, that at a time 10,000 people used to be in a quarantine center. And it was a pretty fair deal for any Dharavikar that he just have to tell us that he is infected, and then he will get a 3-course meal along with a treatment, test, and discharge with free of cost, no cost to him. So that really worked. And sometimes, that's what apart from that, we sanitize all the public toilets, we sanitize all the homes, on all roads in Dharavi, we're just sanitizing. One more important thing we did is, as I told you, many factories are there and many migrant workers stay there. They depend on street food. They hand to mouth, people don't even have a source of earning during that time. We started distributing food packets in the area. We used to distribute almost 21,000 food packets in lunch and 21,000 for the dinner. You can imagine the situation. And then we set up a field hospital. We acquired a few hospitals. As a matter of policy, during that time, we have decided to be very transparent. We have decided to share all the data, whatever deaths, whatever persons infected, in public domain. But because of that, what happened? Media started reporting about Dharavi. You must have read about that. That Dharavi is fighting, how Dharavi is fighting COVID-19, right from the top news channel of the world to the local news channel. And there were apprehensions initially that no, we should not share all such data that might create panic in Dharavi and that might burst into something else. But we were just trusting our intent, because we have nothing to hope or nothing to offer. We were just keep going. But interestingly, what happened, because of this media covering, we started getting calls for the help. You will not believe, I randomly used to get a call that I want to help. And from a common people, means the call was to that extent that we have to set up a helpline number for just to noting down the call and getting the help. Many corporates used to call, many common, we set up a crowdfunding platform, just people to donate, and there was several donations, right from medicine, right from PP kits, sanitizer, you name it, and everything we have. Means I could not believe we have donated almost grocery packets to 25,000 families. And everything was donated by corporates and common people through the crowdfunding platform. Means one fine day, I was just working in an office and I just got a random WhatsApp. Hi, I'm Ajay Devgan, I need to talk. I said, why the Bollywood superstar will message me right in the middle of the pandemic? I thought it must be some prank or something, somebody sitting at home and doing a prank. I took a chance and called him back. He said, sir, how is the situation in Dharavi? Is everything right? So I said, yes, we are just planning to set up a field hospital because there is a shortage of oxygen supply and we are trying to set up ICU beds in a field hospital. He said, sir, how can I contribute in this? I just want to contribute. I just read about it. I just saw it on news, on TV. So I said, let's build up a field hospital. He contacted all his colleagues in Bollywood and all his friends, and we set up a field hospital in record 21 days in Dharavi. And not only once, but twice we set up a hospital with ICU beds, and that has saved many lives. So if you are vocal about your intent, many times it happens that help comes, and the like-minded people start associating with you. So this is Dharavi model, and more importantly, I want to share a few experiences and lessons I learned from this Dharavi model, or whatever I experienced through these last 2 years. The first important lesson is that, friends, many times it will happen in your life that you will encounter a problem for which you will not have any reference book to solve. You have to trust on your intents that, yes, I am serving for the people, I am doing the right thing, and you have to trust on your team. But that is not enough. You have to vocal about your intents as well. You cannot just simply wish and sit back. You have to be vocal. Once you are vocal, the like-minded people, those have a similar intent, start associating with you. Means that during that time, I remember it was so dark. A lady in the morning called me one fine day. She said, "Ki sir, my husband is feeling breathless, and I need a hospital ICU bed. I need, please give me a ICU bed." I said, "Sir, just relax. I'll find out the bed and get back to you." I was trying to contact the leading hospitals. Meanwhile, I got 8 to 10 calls during that time asking for the bed. And after diligent search of 1 hour or two, I called back that lady. She said, "Ki sir, he just died 10, 15 minutes back." And I simply cut the phone and I started searching who was the next one who called me. And I called that. Later, after 2, 3 days, I realized I'd not even consoled that lady. Sorry, you lost your loved one or nothing. But that was the situation. Why I'm sharing this is what the situation we were going through. It was so dark ahead. Means one of our inspector who was distributing food in Dharavi, he was actually doing a God's job. That he was distributing a food to the needy. And he got infected. I was on call with him when he was reaching to hospital and he died. Next day, means that incident shook all of us, that even we will not be spared. And the colleagues which were working with him, they came to me next day and said, "Sir, we can't work like this. We are not going to work now. Because how can I see the yesterday we were distributing the food and today is no more?" And I was like, what I cannot use my authority to scold them, ki no, you have to be there. I said, ki okay, we'll test all of you and we'll find out what happens. We tested all 19 people and 14 of them were positive. They all been sent back to home. I was just watching something on a OTT platform, one movie, in which there is a lead actor always been asked कि क्या चल रहा है. You all are Hindi people, you must understand. क्या चल रहा है? So he used to answer enjoying life or option क्या है? And that dialogue clicked me that कि enjoying life or option क्या है? And I realized that कि what is the option? I have to go ahead. We cannot sit back and say कि yes, that is enough, now I am going. So I quickly called the people in Dharavi who were in need of job, and I put them on a job and started. So the first lessons from this is that you have to trust on your intent and vocal about the intent. You will never know from where the hope will come. And no single person can change the world. You have to be a team of like-minded people with good intent to change the world. Second important lesson I learned is community engagement. See, you have to take account a community which you are serving while you framing a policy, anything you wanted to do. Unless they are into confidence, you're not going to make any change in their life. You need see, in welfare state or a developing country, there are less privileged people have their own set of illegalities. They stay in slum, they have their informal settlements, they have their own setup. They cannot be as comfortable as you and me are with the authorities. They don't know their rights. So you need somebody in between, like non-government organizations, resident organization, community-based organization, to bridge that gap, the gap of trust, everything. And so in Dharavi, we took help of several such community organizations to just reach out to these people. That helped us in vaccination, that helped us in isolating people, that helped us in testing them. There were several misconceptions when authority used to tell you that they used to took it otherwise. But when the community organization used to tell them, they used to trust them. So community engagement is very important. No doubt, local representatives are very important and they have done phenomenal job in Dharavi as well. But they are not enough sometimes because the kind of density, kind of population India has. So just build the bridge through this community-based organization when you want to. And finally, for the students, I must say, we should be considerate towards the less privileged people in the society. See, we very conveniently, we forget that life we are living is dream for many people. Life we are living is at the cost of many visible, invisible hands who are working tirelessly for us. So friends, whatever you have in excess, just try to give back to the society. Eventually, when you will leave this world, what matters is what you have given back to the society. So always have that angle in life to give back to the society. So finally, if we summarize everything in one sentence, that have a good intent, no matter how dark it is, just be there and keep moving. Be vocal about your intent. Start associating or the like-minded people with you. Make a team to bring a change. No single person can bring a change. Larger is the team, bigger is the change. Thank you very much.